Hello everyone, I am Erika of Beadingschool.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika. Today I have a really special guest. Heather Kingsley-Heath is joining me today to tell you all about the inspiration and the jewels that she created for the Winter Tale Beading School Academy theme box. Before we would start and before I would invite Heather to join us, can you please let me know if you can hear me and see me? Because, as you know, I had some technical issues last week, and the streaming software that I am using still doesn't work exactly as it should. So I'm using a very complicated workaround to make sure that we can join you today together with Heather. So I see Shelley checking in, and Antoinette, and Erika, and Sarah, and Corinne. And Cindy says she can see me and hear me. And then on a different screen, I see Catherine and Lita and Cindy again, and Susan and Sharon and Miriam. So I guess I will have to look at two separate screens to see all your comments. But it seems that I am here. And I would also like to invite dear Heather to join me now.
Hi.
Hi, Heather. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, that's my
How are you
pleasure.
doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, actually. I've got my tea ready with me, so we can get down to the gossip in the chat.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
So, for those bidders who maybe didn't see the news, well, it was everywhere. I tried to send letters and post, and also I know that Heather did the same. But if there is someone who didn't hear it yet, so the Beading School Academy is a bi-monthly big beady adventure where we create always a new theme, a new source of inspiration, together with a box and jewels and articles to read, sometimes even music to listen. There is this professional storytelling coming with every theme. And this winter time, this holiday season is special because this is the very first time that a fellow designer, a dear friend, and one of the best beadwork teachers worldwide, are you blushing?
I am.
Joined me and created this theme for you.
Yes.
And it is beautiful. So, Heather, do you still remember when we first started to talk about this?
I do. We had a conversation when you came over to the Beadworkers Guild event in May, and you said, "Would you be interested?" And I'm like, "No, of course not." And I got very excited, and it just so happened that a little bit later on, I was going to be over in Amsterdam to celebrate my birthday, meeting up with some friends there. So Erika and I decided that we'd get together. So we were sitting in this very typical Amsterdam coffee shop, and she was explaining to me all about it, that I need to come up with a story and choose the beads and the crystals, and I'm just getting more and more enthusiastic as the conversations are going on, and my head is bubbling with ideas. So, but the difficult bit was sitting on everything that was happening and keeping it secret since May. That was really, really hard.
Well, to add a little detail to that time when we were sitting in the cafe, it didn't took very long to convince you to.
True, very true. Yeah, it was an easy sell, wasn't I?
And it was so nice, on this little couch next to the window, and we had beads everywhere. And I brought you to look at the Dream of Sibylla box.
Yeah. And me, I was just like, beads and crystals. Gimme.
So not long after you returned home to the UK, I got a beautiful picture from you. And that was the source of inspiration.
Yeah, so it was a storyboard. So like a lot of creative projects, I thought the best way to talk to you was visually. So I put together a storyboard of what I was thinking about. And I think we've got a picture of it here.
Yeah, I'm showing it already. I hope
Oh,
that
okay.
the readers can see it.
Right.
Can you please, ladies, confirm that you see the storyboard that I am showing on the screen? Because sometimes I see something else than you see, and I love to hear.
I can
It's
see it now.
actually showing up.
Yeah.
And Sophia is saying, "Whoa, that storyboard!" So,
Well, it's a highly illegal storyboard because I just pinch things off the internet and put them in a PDF, but it was only ever for our use to talk about colours and shapes and the mood. And from that, the kind of story of the Winter Palace began to take shape in my head. And I kind of like, one of my areas that I love more than anything is history and going to museums and galleries and looking at things that somebody made 2 centuries, 3 centuries ago, and you kind of connect with people over time. So that was the little heart of the story, that this palace would have all these treasures in it, that we could talk about, all the different things that happened to create a treasure.
well, when I look at the storyboard, but also all of your jewels and your website. For now, I will pop in the link for your website, and then I will also show it to make sure that our dear readers can find more of your work. So whenever I look at anything that you create, your website, your jewels, your storyboard,
Thank you.
then what comes into my mind is history. If I have to say it in one word, then it's history.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. So if I'm not in a museum, I'm in a junk shop or an antique shop. That's where I get all my ideas from.
Did you have a favorite museum when you were visiting Amsterdam?
Yeah. Well, I went to I don't know how you pronounce it, the Reich Museum.
Rijksmuseum.
And my favourite room, actually, I thought it would be all the jewellery, but it was whilst the big art exhibition was on. So a lot of the paintings I wanted to see, I couldn't unless I bought an extra ticket to see the exhibition, which was separate. And the tickets sold out like a year ago. So, but I ended up in this room with all these models of these galleons and sailing ships. And because modern technology is sort of coming along with this, on some of them, they had 3D projections of the little men running up and down the rigging, and the little. It was brilliant. I was absolutely blown away by the mastery of these people that made these ships. I mean, some of them were nearly the size of a car, but a lot of them were really tiny, and the details were just gorgeous. So I think that was my favourite room.
I think I know which one you are talking about.
Yeah.
And actually, I think when people who are not bead workers themselves, they look at the jewels that we make, they often are just as surprised by the details and the intricacy of a jewel and how tiny the beads that we work with are, in the same way as those models in the museum. So I see a strong parallel in that.
Mind you, in the jewellery room, there was some stunning pieces, really gorgeous pieces. So,
but actually, you didn't have to go inside the museum to find
No.
inspiration. Sometimes it's enough to walk around in this beautiful city.
Yeah, so that little photo is of, it's just a stairway, an entrance to a house, and I just love that mixture of colors, like the warm purpley bricks. And I mean, anybody who knows me knows that my favorite colors are turquoise and green, and you can see behind me. I find them calming and peaceful, and I just fell in love with those tiles. And when you actually look at all the contents of the box, all the colors in that image are there in the contents of our box, pretty much. And it wasn't until because when we were doing it, we were putting it together, and I gave you my perfect wish list. And for all the obvious reasons, some things weren't available, so we had to swap them out for other things. So what we ended up with, I was just looking through my camera and thinking, God, I really absorbed those colors and then just channeled them back out again. So it's interesting how your mind makes connections, and you don't always recognize it at the time that's what's happening.
Totally.
But yeah,
I feel what you are talking about. Like, often I get the question that if the inspiration or the jewel comes first, and sometimes I can't really separate the two.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Sometimes I need to already have the beads on my bead mat.
Yeah.
And then the puzzle comes together. And to give an impression to our beaders who maybe did not have the box yet on their bead mats, although I think Sophia said, my favorite theme so far, stunning colors, can hardly wait to get my 2 boxes. Couldn't get just one.
Brilliant.
So thank you so much,
exactly what you mean, Sophia.
That's a huge compliment to you, Heather. And just to give an impression to our beaders who maybe did not see the box yet, I have a little video of the contents here. So for a few seconds, I will show that. I will remove us from the screen, and then we will come back. So we are back, and those were the colors and the shapes, and I think from every detail, your love for history and intricate details, it really shines through. But what was like a very beautiful extra that you created, that you actually wrote a story. We published the first part now during the past weekend.
Oh, brilliant.
Students, and it will come in little parts to enjoy it all through the holiday season.
Oh, nice. So I'll keep the ending secret then.
Please. I have here also one more picture that you sent me that was part of your inspiration. So that comes back, I think, in what you mentioned to me, that is your favorite component from the box, right?
Yes. So my favorite component, and it's really hard to choose because it goes without saying that all the earring findings and the filigrees are absolutely stunning. But actually what took my heart was the tiny little teardrop, the little teardrop in the blue zircon, because it just...
Heather disappeared somehow. I hope that she comes back in a moment. Maybe there is an internet glitch. Just a moment. Trying to... Just a moment. So I hope that you still see me, and hopefully we will get back Heather in a little while. Just bear with me, dear ladies. You see me and two pictures. See, yeah, that's what I see also. And Heather is back. Just a moment. You're back. You're back.
I have no idea what happened there, but I just logged out and logged back in again. So
yeah, the same link will work for you. If it by any chance happens again, then you can come back through the same link, and all is well.
Okay. Yes, so my other big love is collecting old things, and the jug and the plate. I have a big collection of green ceramics, cabbage leaf bowls and things like that. And the little Art Deco jug just made me happy when I saw it in a junk shop. And the flowers are not real, they're artificial, but I just fell in love with the colour. And a friend of mine owns a little cafe, which is also... part of it is a shop that sells plants, live plants, and antique bits and pieces. So it's a real mishmash. When you go in, you don't know when you sit down whether the chair's for sale or not, that kind of place. But it's great fun. And she had these flowers just stuck in everything. And I said, well, can I buy some? So, because that colour is just gorgeous with all my green. And it is the exact colour of the bigger stones that we chose.
Yeah, actually the bigger ones also, and the small teardrops. And I love the color combination that you brought in. And I kept saying at the beginning when I introduced the team that thanks to you, I also discovered a new combination that, for example, the bicon beads, the 4mm bicon beads, the light topaz 2x AB, together with the rose luster round 15s.
Yeah, it's rich, isn't it? It's really rich. Yeah.
So you are...
I'm pleased with how all the colours came out, because it kind of like you said, it's got that feeling of history and dressing up for parties in the middle of winter, all those lovely rich colours. So yeah, I'm pleased with how it came out. And for anybody who's curious, I am just as passionate about playing with all the things in my box as you are. Even though I know everything that went into it, and you won't be able to see this very easily, but I've got a bead board where I've got all kinds of things going on because I can't leave the contents of the box alone.
Actually, I got 2 more pictures from you
that's
today.
My bead board earlier this morning.
I did not expect that still you are going and going. So this looks also very intriguing.
Yeah, so that was the other thing. The little components on either side of that picture are some bead embroidery, because I thought, well, I've been doing quite a bit of bead embroidery lately, and all these... But going back a little bit, what was really good about beading school was it taught me to look at beading differently, because I was very much of the school that, if you've got a component, then you must be able to bead around it. in order to create something bigger or different. And then along came these filigrees, and I thought, well, the only way to attach beads is to sew them onto the metal, which was absolutely nothing I'd ever done before. It was quite a thing to get past having thread on the back of the metal. But once I started, it was like, oh wow, and you can do this and you can do this. So I did more of that, and then I thought, well, yeah, all these components could be part of bead embroidery. I'm not quite sure what these bits are going to be. That was my first little experiment. Maybe some earrings, or hang them that way up and have them dangling, or I might do like 4 or 5 and have a necklace. I don't know, but it was just, there were some beads in the box that I didn't use for the projects that I designed for you, and I thought, well, I want to use those mini what they're diamond duos. They're gorgeous, and they fit so nicely between the crystals because of the shapes of them. So I'm still playing. And
the shape of those little bead embroidered components, I really like it.
Yeah, so they'll become something at some point. So yeah, so it just goes to show. I mean, I've been beading a long old time now. I'm not going to reveal age and all that nonsense, but there's always something new to play with, always something new to explore. I love it. You never run out with beading.
My absolute favorite, and when I showed it first to Veronka and Susie, when we always have like a Monday morning coffee to like talk about what will happen during the next week and so on. Then when I showed them your peacock necklace, then Veronka was just, oh my God, she's a genius.
Oh, bless her.
We agreed, of course, immediately, all of us, that yes, she is a genius. I was like, I knew. That's why I invited her. So our favorite is the peacock pendant. But did you have a favorite when you were creating the jewels?
Yeah, the first snow earrings. It was really, really hard to put those in the box and send them back to you.
Well, you will get them.
Confession time.
You will get them back eventually. You'll be a good girl, I promise.
Brilliant.
Or not. But actually, yes, because this is what we are going to bead together during No One Has to Bead Alone this Friday. So
great.
I can make my own and I can return yours.
Oh, marvelous. I can wear them at Christmas.
I think it will be a beautiful holiday season, jewel. But even since you created the jewels, you had some great adventures in the beading world. You were traveling recently.
Yeah, so I was over in France to begin with, teaching for a week over there at a retreat, which was super fun. And then I had a couple of weeks at home, and then I went off to the USA for the first time since before lockdown. And I taught for the gals at Bead Soup in Maryland. And then I went up to take a Sherry Serafini class. So I was a student. And so were a lot of the other bead teachers that we used to meet up with at Bead and Button Show, and dear friends that I hadn't seen for a long time. So it was an absolute party. We had the best time. So you can see I made a little bag. I had other plans. I had a different bag planned completely. But Sherry does these adorable little bags of treasure. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to make myself a little souvenir bag of just being here and being with all my friends. So I made, and the little cat was in one of the treasure bags. So I made the bag out of cork. I have it here. It's not very big.
That's
probably
so
keep
nice.
tarot cards or spells in it or something like that. But it's made out of cork, so it's just one big piece, folds over, and then some little side bits. And I didn't have anything to line it with, so I lined it with ultra suede, which is probably the most expensive bag lining you're ever going to come across.
I love it that the inside is colorful too, that it has like an accenting color.
Yeah.
Super nice.
So, and that was just lovely fun to do.
can imagine.
Yeah.
But like, besides being a student, you also sent me some of your newest jewelry.
Yes, I'm wearing mine
And
today.
I was like drooling on my keyboard and like, oh my god, I want them all, and they are so beautiful.
So this one is you're kind of seeing it here first because it hasn't gone on the website yet. It's going to go on the website on Friday.
Everyone mark your calendars, please.
Yeah, and it's called Scintilla, and it's a combination of pure beadwork and bead embroidery. And the backing of it, like you can see on this pink one, is the most gorgeous fake leather, which I got in this beautiful little haberdashery fabric store in Annecy in France when I was over doing my teaching. And it was like going back in time. It was a proper old-fashioned ribbons and notions and everything you could imagine, and a little corner for your knitting wool. And they had these beautiful, they're like soft as butter, these the backing. I just fell in love with it, so I bought some and thought I'm doing the kit. And yeah, so it'll launch on Friday. It's called Scintilla, and you'll be able to find it on my website,
which I will show in a moment. But I just want to emphasize that when, like, here I can show only a smaller picture, but what you sent me, it was a lot bigger and I could look at the details. And I love how you included the square-shaped crystal for the bail, that how many, like, you give attention to every square,
every detail. Yeah,
thing.
I have a little sign on my desk, and my friends tease me because I come out with these sayings. I love a good saying, and I have a little sign in front of me that says "Don't stop until you're proud." And it's just a reminder, because there are certain parts of designing and writing patterns and making kits that I don't love. I've spent all day today doing diagrams for a project, and it's my own fault because I left it to the last minute because I didn't want to do it. We all know that one, don't we? And yeah, so when I think, oh, that'll do, I just see the little sign out of the corner of my eye and think, no, it won't. So I have to do all the details. But those little Swarovski squares, am I allowed to say that word? They've been in my cupboard for a long time because I knew how I wanted to use them, but they had to wait for the right project.
Yeah. I think that happens with us many times, that there is something we fall in love with, but then it needs to the right place.
Definitely.
So what about this other beautiful pendant? How did the inspiration come? And I'm really intrigued that it's so, like, it's transparent.
It is transparent. So the Dimity Deco one, that came about, I've had a series of designs where I'm using transparent components. There's another pendant that uses a transparent ball and a half ball called Fortuna. And I used them in a retreat project that I did. And I found these from a supplier, and they're really 1970s earrings. I mean, not quite a few of you won't even remember the 1970s, but plastic was big, and the bigger the earrings were, the better. So they're like acrylic half moons almost. And I just saw them and I thought, wow, some beadwork around those would be fab. So I bought a huge bag of them.
This is them.
Yeah. And that's been proving quite popular. When did I launch it? Not that long ago, a couple of months ago. And the kits keep selling out. So I'm pleased with that because I love it. I wear mine all the time.
They look lovely and so different. And I would love to show now your website. That
Thank you.
Can you? It's heatherworks.co.uk. I already posted the link before, and I will also put it on the screen. Just a moment. Yes, I managed. I'm so happy
Yay!
these days when something technical works because so many things are going wrong and I
Honestly,
have
Erika, you are so brave. Honestly, you're juggling technology like a pro.
until it works. But now what's important that I could put up your website address and now it's like the happiest moment of the day.
Brilliant.
But can you show us, please? I have your website. Ah, Heather disappeared. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't have Heather. But I hope she will come back through the link in a moment. I think if maybe her internet has a second long fallout, then she disappears and then she needs to come back again. But in the meanwhile, I would like to show you her website. And
I'm back. I don't know what's happening.
wonderful. Thank you so much. And can you for coming back, and can you please show us where to find the kits and where will the new one appear on Friday?
Okay, so on the website, there's you can just click on kits, and it will take you straight to the kits. I'll also be posting it on Facebook with a direct link to the project. So
That's great.
if you're not sure, just look at me on Facebook. And if anything, I mean, this is just in general for everybody who's got little web shops out there. If there's something you want and it's telling you it's out of stock, just email. Because quite often I'm so busy getting classes ready or projects ready or working with Erika or whatever, traveling, that I forget to update the website. So if something you're passionate about, just let me know and I'll make it for you.
Oh, that's wonderful. But like what I really wanted to talk about, at least for a minute, is your Tudor Inspirations book.
Yeah, very
Your
dear to my
masterpiece,
heart.
in my opinion.
That I wrote with the lovely Melanie de Miguel, and it was I think the most beading fun I ever had, because Melanie and I have known each other for a long time, and together with us friend Sue Richardson, we used to meet at the Beadworkers Guild event, and we'd sit in the bar till the wee small hours going, we really should do something together. And about 5 or 6 years went by, and then Sue was our publisher, and she was amazing. She helped us through everything that we were doing, and Mel and I just came up with this idea of what we call elemental beading. So it's very similar to what a lot of people do, but we looked at ways that we could combine our work because we're very different. And by doing little elements, we could have projects that appeared. You could pick pieces out of all the different projects and put them together and then start creating your own designs, which was something else we thought was really useful. So at the back of the book is a library of every separate element that we've each used with the recipe for how many beads to make one. So then you can do the multiplication. So if you want to make a necklace with 10 of them on, you know how many beads to order, that kind of thing. And it's been so warmly welcomed into the bead world. We're both hugely touched by it. And we started teaching retreats together because we didn't want to stop working together because we love each other so much. So we did a couple of retreats, and then of course COVID came along and kind of knocked things sideways a bit, and then life came along and knocked it sideways a little bit more. But there's always the hope that we'll work together again in the future, maybe somehow.
It was lovely when we met this year at the show in the UK, and the book is definitely beautiful and super inspiring.
Well, we're getting down to our last few copies now because it's also available in digital format, and you can find the link on my website for the digital one. But we decided that we wouldn't go into reprint because you just have to have so many printed at once. And the kind of the regularity of sales was kind of going down because everybody who's anybody has got it. Thank you. Big hearts. But it will always be available in the digital format.
Okay, Yosin was just asking if it's available on your website. So
yeah, it's sold out on my website, unfortunately. So that's why I've put the link to the digital one in there, so that at least you can get the book, even though it's not the paper one.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful also to have the digital. And like, this is definitely my favorite like piece that you created, the Tudor book.
Yeah.
And when I had the luck to list through it, then I really got intrigued by the library and all the possibilities
Yeah.
at the end. You can go
Yeah.
small, you can go big. It's
Yeah.
really like a never-ending beading story, I would say.
Yeah, and people send us pictures of the things they've been creating, and it's always such a thrill when a picture comes through and somebody says, "Oh, I made this. What do you think?" And it's just really heartwarming and lovely.
Well deserved, all the praise. And lovely beaders. Like, we could chat, I think, about beads and books and traveling for
Forever.
beading and coffee and tea and about Amsterdam and bead retreats forever. But do you have questions that you would like to ask Heather about her books, her jewels,
Anything.
the
Ask me
winter
anything.
tale? Everything.
And while you think of questions, can I just say, I've been at the corner, you've been looking at me, sort of looking sideways, and I can see the feed, and all your lovely comments are just gorgeous. So yes, thank you very much. And your appreciation of what we've done together is such a reward, because you're never sure when you start a project, you're never sure what people are going to think, whether they're going to like it. So there's so many lovely comments about the colors and the designs. Thank you.
And we have here the comments in the Facebook group. From the Facebook group, they don't show up because of the technical glitch,
Right.
but I see them on a second screen.
Okay.
So Sheila and Kimberly, they are both asking about the digital copy, that how can they find it on your website?
So on my website, if you go to Tudor Inspirations, the book, in the books, there should be a link underneath, which will take you straight to the digital copy. Can you see it?
I see here, Apple Bookstore. Yes.
Yeah. There it is.
Easy. Thank you so much, Heather.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Sheila also found it already. And Shelley has a question. Do you have plans to return to the US to teach?
Yes, I do. Probably next summer. I'm sort of talking to a couple of venues to come over and do a bit more teaching. So yes, when that's confirmed, I'll put it again on my website. There's a calendar of all the classes that I'm going to teach. At the moment, it's been a lot of Zoom classes, but I'll put any new events there. And then if anybody fancies 5 days in Spain, I've got a really lovely luxury retreat that I'll be teaching. We're staying in a beautiful villa outside Barcelona.
Wow.
And we're right on the coast, so we can go for a walk on the beach. And I'll be teaching a really gorgeous project based on 16th century Spanish pirates' treasure. And there is a link on my website again to do that. And it's quite nice because it's a smallish group. We take 12 people. And I think this time we can take up to 15. Everybody gets their own room. We have sangria night. We have paella cooking lessons. And it's just really lovely. And we just sit and be together. And the reason why I love doing these retreats so much is I get you for 5 days. I get 5 days with you. And we get really deep into beading in a way that you just can't do in a one-day class or a 6-hour Zoom class or whatever. So it's an absolute joy to teach.
Like,
So,
even
yeah.
when we were in the UK at the Great British Bead Show, and we could like just sit down together in the evening and have a glass of wine or whatever, it's just a different kind of experience.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be in October next year. And then I don't know where we'll be the year after, but it will be somewhere equally gorgeous with an equally lovely project.
Well, Jessica has a question about one of your projects. My other favorite, my favorite from the Winterthur collection is the peacock pendant. So how did you come up with the super smart adjustable ribbon?
Darlings, we've all got them. It's the bra strap. If you look at how a bra strap works, it's the same idea.
Oh my god. So true.
Yeah.
Wow. Why didn't I realize it until now? Like, I should, because it's not published yet. It will come, like, the tutorials are coming gradually. We don't want to like flood 20 tutorials out there. We want to pace it out so everyone can like dedicate a time to each jewel. But I have it here and I did not realize it.
So the inspiration came to me on a very dreary Monday morning when I was hanging up the laundry, because I was thinking, how can you have a necklace that's adjustable that doesn't have a clasp? And then I was hanging out and I hung up my bra and I thought, oh yeah, of course. So I spent the rest of the day playing with bits of ribbon and sort of pushing them in and out of things until I got that adjustable fastening without a clasp.
It's wonderful. I had to get the ribbon in like 10 other colors at least, because this is fantastic. Like, this opens so many possibilities.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, Lita says, just bought your book. Can't wait to dig into it.
Oh, thank you.
Right now.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Lita. And Belinda says, I have one of your books, and Heather disappeared. And Belinda says, Winter Tale is a lovely box. And I couldn't agree more. And I hope Heather comes back to say goodbye to us. Yes. So
I'm back.
Yeah, you just missed a beautiful compliment from Belinda saying that Winter Tale is a lovely box.
Thank you.
And Kimberly is saying in the club that you're brilliant. I have to. And Susan loves your solution. And Heather, I appreciate it so much that you shared your creativity with us. And
it was a joy to do. Absolute joy to do. Thank you.
I loved it. I loved the whole process when we were like doing the treasure hunt for based on your storyboard and putting together the colors and the shapes.
Yeah,
that was a fantastic experience also for me, and thank you so much for.
Well, it was pretty cool for me too, and I have to say I really enjoyed seeing the samples from the filigree factory, to look at all those wonderful things that have just been sitting there, exactly like we're talking about, just sitting in a little time capsule waiting to be rediscovered and enjoyed. And to see the variations, just amazing. It's really hard to choose that one.
Yeah,
I kept saying to Veronica, didn't I, can't we have two?
That is one of the, I think, the most special things that we managed to bring to the bead shop. In the meanwhile, Alicia is asking about the source for the velvet rope. Beadingschool.com.
Yay! Oh no, The velvet rope. No, I never did. What we're talking about is I was over at a bead show in Germany a few years ago, and somebody was selling these amazing velvet ropes. Okay, and there were different. This
Also
is the
looks
thick one, and there
interesting.
was a thin one and a thick one. And I said to her, "Can I buy them in bulk?" And she said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And then when I got home, all the numbers, all the contacts, I couldn't reach her at all. So no, I've never been able to source them, and I even bought the cord and the velvet and had a go at making them myself. It did not work. It really is quite a skilled thing to do. But I'll keep looking. I will.
Well, thank you for your perseverance. And actually, in the meanwhile, because our beaders could already bead your Every Precious Links necklace.
Yeah.
And on Monday, we just posted on the Beading School Facebook page some beautiful variations that are done already.
Yes, I saw them. I'm really inspired.
They were so nice.
Yeah, lovely.
And on Friday, a No One Has to Bead Alone mini workshop is coming, dedicated to your favorite design from the box, the first snow earrings.
Great.
The peacock pendant will come a little bit later.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Weirdly, that is actually Melanie trying to phone me.
Say hi to
So
her
as soon as we finish, I'll
say hi
phone
to
her
her when you call her back.
Yeah.
Because so the peacock pendant will come a little bit later. But while we were talking, then I had an automatic scheduling set for the Beading School bead shop. So the dancing in candlelight bracelet or earring, if someone would like to make it as an earring, the tutorial is available in the Beading School bead shop now to go with your box. And since you told me in the morning that your favorite components are the tiny teardrops from the box, the blue zircon color, then I selected for today one more tutorial that appeared in the bead shop now. And that is from Veronka, where she also got very fond of the teardrops. So these
gorgeous. Love it. I might have to make one of those for me.
Well, I have a tutorial. I can maybe make it for you and send it back together with your jewels when I send
Marvelous.
So anyway, I will stay here with our lovely beaders for a little more time because the Beading School Advent Calendar adventure is about to start.
Yes.
And
all right then, my lovelies. Well, thank you, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the box that we've put together. And again, I thank you for all your lovely, lovely comments. That makes sitting and doing the diagrams so worth it. It really does.
Thank you so much for your creativity, for your kindness, for all your work that you did for us. And I can't wait to beat the first snow on Friday. Have a lovely day and big hugs to Melanie.
Yeah, will do. Okay,
Bye, Heather. Bye, Heather. So I hope you enjoyed spending time with Heather. It's very special when we can talk to such an inspiring person as her. And thank you so much for all your questions. And keep beading, and please find her tutorial in the bead shop. But now I would also like to tell you again about the Beading School Advent Calendar, because the Advent season is just around the corner, and I know that you have lots of questions, And it is like, seriously, besides the academy, this is the most valuable things that we created for beaders. And I just don't want you to miss it, because, well, on one hand, we need the inspiration, but on the other hand, we also need material to work with. And during the Advent season, we usually don't give discounts during the year. I believe in inspiration, I believe in quality, but for the Advent season, we can make this happen, because on one hand, the whole treasury is organized for Advent in a special, very effective way. And on the other hand, of course, we can buy beads and components for you in a bigger quantity, so then we can also offer you discounts that otherwise are not available. And Linda says she's getting excited as it is her first time. I'm also getting super excited, even if this is already the 4th year when we are organizing it. So if someone doesn't know it yet, then the Beadingschool Advent Calendar, it is from the 1st of December until the 24th of December, a series of super special deals, surprises, and sometimes even gifts every day. It works like kind of an Advent calendar, but it's not a physical Advent calendar. Every year, every day, my helper, Foxy, will bring you something exciting, and every day it will be something different. So during the Advent calendar, the discounts are a lot higher than usual. So it is the perfect time to stock up on some goodies for the upcoming time. So one day would be, for example, dedicated to fire polished beads. One day will be dedicated to glass cabochons. Erika is asking, will there be sales on 2-hole beads like tilas and such? And dear Erika, actually, we will travel through pretty much the whole beading school bead shop, and every day we will offer you a different possibility that will be always valid for 48 hours. We always publish what's happening at the same time. It is 3 p.m. Central European time, so 2 hours before the usual coffee time, and no one has to be the long time. And then my Foxy helper reveals what is happening, and you can enjoy that special offer for 48 hours or until stock lasts. And on the other hand, besides the super special deals and the good prices, so if you want to be careful about your beady piggy bank and want to make smart decisions how you spend it, so it is a very good opportunity to do that. On the other hand, on some days, Foxy will bring you a different kind of surprise, and you can get access to products, to exquisite beading material that is otherwise not available. So, for example, one day will be dedicated to my workshop kits that are during the year not available in the beading school bead shop, but on a specific day for 48 hours, you can access them in the during the Advent calendar. The ones that I used to teach at the Bead and Button show, the ones that I taught this year at the Great British Bead Show, and there might also be something new coming. Like one of the reasons that I think it will be super nice, because also my dear friends and colleagues are joining me. So, for example, I can bring you a new design from Veronka, and I can say that it will be the blingiest design that she ever made. Then one day we will actually offer the highest possible discount, 30% on the category that I looked into the statistics of the bead shop, and I selected the category that you like the most based on your precious bead orders, and you will receive 30% on that. You will need to keep an eye on the announcements, on one hand in the dedicated Facebook group, and on the other hand, I will be sending out emails daily. Rachel is asking, will the folks who are not on Facebook get emails like last year? Yes, indeed, I will be sending out emails, but what is super important, that you need to be signed up for newsletters. Otherwise, I can't send you an email. The program does not allow me to send you an email. So that is super important. And for our beaders who are on Facebook, I already posted the information and sent out a very long email yesterday telling you about how does it work. But if you maybe haven't seen it, then I will also pop here the link. And this is the dedicated Facebook group where we will be posting all the surprises. And just a few pictures for you. So we can't wait to start this. And besides, like, the inspiration and the goodies in the bead shop, I can promise that it will also be fun and there will be adrenaline. And I love it how we are like connecting also in the group during that time. And can't wait to start. Do you ladies have any questions about the Beadingschool Advent Calendar? I will pop the link for that here too, in case that you would like to read more. Antoinette is asking if the $10 minimum purchase value applies. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Otherwise, you can check out as many times as you like. You can choose the join with order in progress option. And during the Advent calendar, you will have a designated space in the treasury where we will put aside everything that you order, and then we will ship it together. So you can take advantage of the combining all your shipments into one. And that's why also actually we have a limited number of spaces available, because the treasury is filling up. And the ladies already asked me 3 times this during the preparations for the Advent season to buy new shelves. So you can imagine how many goodies are coming during the upcoming weeks. And Rachel is asking, can we make purchases that are not meant for the calendar and have them ship as usual? Yes, dear Rachel, you can do that. But in that case, I kindly ask you to leave a message for the treasury ladies when you sign out. Then there is a possibility to leave a message for the treasury ladies that please let them know that you need something else. By the way, sometimes we have the question if there will be any other sales discounts in the near future. So we will have an end of the year sale. So if you miss something during the designated 48 hours when we have a special deal for a specific product during the Advent calendar, then you might still have a chance to get it for a better price. However, it's not on the level of the Advent calendar. The Advent calendar is the big shot, And the end of the year sale, it will be a lot smaller than the surprises and discounts that we offer during the calendar. Sarah just revealed that she's helping us these days with a secret now. Psst. I'm glad that you are good at keeping secrets. Catherine says she would like to see the team when the Advent orders come through. It's exciting times for the Treasury team too. Catherine is asking, do we get one free postage for the Advent plus one for the next Academy box? Yes, that's how it works actually, that in the price of the Beadingschool Advent Calendar, one shipment is included, registered shipping with a tracking number, so you can keep an eye on it. And if you are a Beadingschool Academy member, then you also have a top-up option. So for example, if you shop during the Advent calendar, then we can send you that in one package. And if you forgot something and want to make up for it during the end of the year sale, but I would not leave it to the end of the year sale because it will be a lot smaller than the Advent calendar. But if it happens, then we can send it to you with the Academy box. And Sarah enjoyed teasing for once. I don't know what exactly. I know the original, but I don't know your colors. So I'm super curious, Sarah. You are allowed to tease me today. So, lovelies, do you have any other questions? If not, then I would like to thank you for your company today. It was super nice to meet you all and Heather together. And please keep an eye on your inboxes, keep an eye on the announcements, and if you would like to get emails about the Advent deals, then after you purchase the calendar, please make sure to sign up for a newsletter. Otherwise, my emails will not get through to you. So that is super important. So thank you so much, ladies, for today. And we will meet each other on Friday for Heather's first snow earrings. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.